announced. Hi, everybody. I am recording this now, so I'm being all official and professional, but that won't last long, I'm sure, knowing me. All right, I've opened the question and answer option on the side. Well, mine says it's not working. Well, we'll see if it'll start working. I'll just do a question and answer in a bit, but go ahead and use the thread on JMC if you have a question and you need to talk to me, or PM me. I will sit here and hang out at my PMs. Okay, so today I want to cover a couple of things, and hopefully we'll start doing this even more often because I love what this is. I'm going to copy and paste.
Mine says it's not working.
All right, hang on. All right. So today we're going to go over recruiting interview, which I learned through Power Jam with Holly Ennis. She's the director of training and development with Jamberry. And once you hit team manager, you have the option of taking this super intensive training course called Power Jam. And I took it the last time it was offered, and I just graduated the beginning or the end of last month, I think, or the beginning of this month. Anyway, this recruiting interview that they have, it's very basic and probably what you're doing already, but it puts it into actual steps and actual terms, which we don't maybe think about. So I want to go through this. First off, you want to set an actual agenda with your possible recruit. So let's say you have a sneak peeker or a hostess or a friend who might be interested and they're showing you some interest. Have a phone call with them or have a PM with them on Facebook and set up a time to meet and talk about Jamberry so that they know it's not just going to be a casual get-together, it's actually a business meeting. And then there are 5 steps that you go through. So grab a paper and pen if you don't have one already. There are 5 steps to this recruiting interview. The first step is tell me about you. So when you sit down with them, ask them that. Tell me about you. Even if you think you know them, have them talk about themselves. For a few minutes, just listen to what they have to say. They probably will correlate it to Jamberry in some way automatically of why they want to do Jamberry or what they think Jamberry can do for them because they know this is a business meeting. You want to listen really well. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so really just listen to what they have to say. Take notes for future reference. So if they say, oh, I'm really just wanting a social outlet, write that down so that the next time you approach them or when you're training them, you're not really focusing on the money side of things if they're really wanting a social outlet. Along with that, there is a personality test called DISC, and you can take this test online. I highly recommend that if you plan on building your team with Jamberry, that you get to know those personality traits. Read up on what those are. What does D stand for? What does I stand for? What does S stand for? What does C stand for? I'm going to do a training on this on another day because it gets kind of in-depth. But basically, each personality needs to be approached in a different way. And if you have a recruit that's just like hanging on the line and they want to join, but maybe they're just not getting the answers that they need to make the commitment, ask them to take that test and just say, hey, I'd like to be able to help you better and serve you better and inform you better. So would you mind taking this test and just letting me know like what your results are? I've done this a couple times. I actually did this with Courtney. So Courtney, if you're listening in on this call, I had her do this, and it showed me like, is she more interested in the statistics or is she more interested in the fun side? Those are very important to know because then you'll know how to approach your recruit. So figure out if they're a D, an I, an S, or C, and figure out what you are. So let's say you're a very, very strong D personality. You're very dominant then. D personality is a very dominant personality. You want to know how to get to the end result the quickest way possible, and you want to be in charge and you want to lead and you're pretty willing to just plow over anything in your way. Guess what? I'm a D personality. I've had to learn how to integrate the other personalities, especially S and C. I'm about even with D and I is actually the fun side, so it's kind of funny to put those two together. But anyway, again, I'll talk more about the DISC in another training. But I highly recommend that you go take that training or go take that survey and see how it affects you and your recruiting and how you talk to your downline that you already have. Really, really listen to what your possible recruit is telling you. Don't assume that she wants to join Jamberry for the same reason you did. And I think sometimes we do that. We're just like, oh, we're making X amount of dollars with our bonus every month. They're going to want that too. Well, they may not. They may want it as a social outlet, or they may want it for the discount. There's a lot of reasons people will join a company like this. Okay, so that was number one. Number one was tell me about you. Number two, share your jam journey. Your jam journey and your why will probably change often. Mine is still the same, but my whole drive behind it has kind of evolved and changed. When you're sharing your jam journey, you want to make it short and sweet. You know, tell them why it caught your eye, tell them why you love it and why you stayed, but personalize and highlight the moments in your jam journey and your reason why that correlate to what they were just told you. So let's say you really joined for the money. You really joined for that extra $500 a month that you're going to get in your bonuses. That's your goal. Well, if she says, oh, I don't really care about the money, you know, I have 3 sons and a husband and I never get any girl time and I just am really looking to make friends and have a social outlet. Okay, that doesn't mean that that doesn't correlate with your jam journey. You just need to turn that around and say, okay, I joined for the money. I really wanted to help with the bills. I wanted to make an X amount of dollars each month. But you know what I found along the way? I found a lot of sisters. I found a jamily that I can be with, my jam fam, and hang out on that subject for a second so that they know this is something that could work for them. And it's true. I hope that each and every one of you feel like you can come to us, especially me or your team leader, about anything, your team manager, about anything that you need. I'm not just here for Jamberry. I'm here for you. And if you're happy and you're doing well in life, it's going to reflect on Jamberry eventually. Or it's not. Maybe this isn't something for you eventually. Okay, that's a whole other training too. I won't go there. But basically what I'm saying is use the feeling that you have, the feeling of community, and reflect back on that. And maybe it is the opposite thing where you really joined for the social outlet and they really need the money. Well, you can say, hey, I joined for the social outlet and didn't expect to be making money, and I made money. There's a lot of money to be had with Jamberry. It's just finding your voice in this company. Okay, so number 2 was share your jam journey. Number 3, why Jamberry is different. Okay, this one's like kind of an important one because people will be like, well, you know, I've heard of Avon and I've heard of Mary Kay and I've heard of It Works and Unique, or I tried this or I tried that and it didn't work for me. And there is stuff that works for each person. Okay, there's a company that works for everybody. But here is how you want to approach this. So, and I'm going to tell you why Jamberry is different. We have a very, very rich hostess program. Most hostess programs start at about 200 or 250 PRV. Okay, so that's generally dollars in sales, unless you're in another country like our lovely New Zealand and Australia girls, then we're looking at PRV. Example of that is Unique. You have to sell 200 PRV in order to start making a credit. And their hostess credit is much, much less than Jamberry. With Jamberry, you only need 100 PRV and you've earned a free wrap. and 150 PRV, you've earned a free wrap and you've earned a percentage of product credit. And it just goes up and up and up and up and up from there. Well, people can imagine selling $100 or 100 PRV to their friends, whereas 250 or 200 is a lot. That's a big number for people's ears to hear. So you want to talk about our hostess program being amazing and rich, and people want free stuff, right? Okay, secondly, we have an amazing comp plan. Our comp plan starts all the way down at the fact that every single sell gets you 30% commission on the PRV. Okay, 30% is massive. Not only that, but you have potential to make bonuses. On top of that, you get ranking bonuses, you get matching bonuses for when your downline ranks, you get fast starts. Talk about how we have a fast start program, and with that fast start program, you have the opportunity to earn $275 in product credit and $100 cash bonus. And the fact that we have excellent training. Our training is right there and available in your back office. I have done, bye Mel, I have done other direct sales companies before, and I've been part of them, and never so much as I have with Jamberry. Jamberry, I really found my home with them, and I wanted to be successful with this company. And the other two that I've been part of, it was more like I was a kidnapper and whatever happened, happened. But they never gave me training. I never had a team page. I never had people to ask questions to. And with Jamberry, we try and have that. Not only do I try and have that with my team page and with the chats that we have and all of that, but they also have that in the back office, and they have on the dashboard, they have training all the time. It's awesome. So touch on that. But I'm going very into depth here, giving you ideas. This whole entire interview should really be no more than 20-25 minutes. So you're really just speeding through, touching on these subjects. And once you really learn about that DISC personality test survey, you will understand a lot more how to help the people that or the woman that you're talking to in the right ways, how to answer questions for her in the right way, so that you can highlight more on fast starts, or you can highlight more if they're very D personality. They probably want to know about the fast starts because they want to get to the top as fast as they can. But if they're an I personality, influential, they want to party. They want to have fun. So really talk about those hostess rewards. Okay, so that was number 3. Why is Jamberry different? Number 4, specifically ask them, okay, what questions do you have for me? What do you need to know so we can get you started today? And that kind of leads you into getting a decision from them. But really listen to what they have to say. This person that you sat down with, they know already that this question is coming. They know you're going to get to the point of a decision, which is our number 5. They knew from the moment that you said, let's schedule a time to sit down and talk about Jamberry, that there was going to come a time when they were going to have to make a decision about either joining or not joining, or hosting a party, or whatever they're planning on doing, or waiting. So number 5 is decision time. Get to an actual answer. It's okay to ask them. You ready to get started today? Or let's get you started today. I like to challenge myself to never pose a question. I always try and pose it as, let's get you started. And then they either have to stop me and say, no, I don't want to do that, or I need a minute, or oh, here's another question I have. Or they say, okay, and then you're heading that direction. You're heading towards yes. People, for the most part, do not like to say no. They don't like to tell you no. Especially if you're pouring your time and heart and enthusiasm into this. So you want to really approach them with the idea that they're going to do this. Okay, they're on board. So let's get you going. Ready? Let's go. You must be okay to hear a no. You must not be afraid to hear that word of no. Because if you're afraid to hear that word no, you're never going to hear the word yes. You have to get to the no in order to get to the yes. Just push through it, swallow that fear, and just say, you ready to get started? And if they say no, then approach it that way. Okay, what, because you've already asked this question, what is it you need to know so that I can help you get started on your jam journey? And here's the popular reasons. I don't have money. I need to talk to my husband. So the I don't have money one. That one's pretty easy. I didn't have money either to start my Jamberry journey. I had to sell a couple things on Facebook through the shop and swaps, and I had to kind of squirrel away a little bit of money and try and find a couple things that I could do to earn a little extra money. And that $99, or that's the US price. In New Zealand and Australia and Canada, it's different. But that money came together pretty quickly. And you know, that price to own a business is amazing. You definitely want to, oh, hi, Andrea. I'm going to mute you. Okay, so yeah, that price point is so great because you're starting a whole business for that price, and everything comes in a kit. So let them know that. Don't right away talk about how they only get a website free for 4 months through their fast start period. Don't worry about that. That will come later. They have so long, that fast start period is so long for them to get a good established business going. Okay, so if they say, I need to talk to my husband, that's a popular one, and I never, ever discourage that. Please do. Please go talk to your husband. Let's set up a time tomorrow at 3 o'clock. How's that work? And I'm going to call you, and we're going to get you started then, okay? And we'll hear what your husband has to say. So then at that moment, pin down a point where you can actually write it down in her schedule, in your schedule, and let her know you'll be calling her. Not that you're going to message her on Facebook. Like, actually call her at that time and pin her down, because then she's going to either avoid you, and then you know why, or she's going to say, I haven't had a chance to talk to my husband yet, or she's going to go home and talk to her husband and know that by 3 o'clock tomorrow she needs to have a decision made. From my experience, it's most of the time it's that way. Okay, really quick, I want to talk about a couple other things, and now I don't remember what they are because I can hear my daughter talking in the other room and it's distracting me. Oh yeah, that's right. You should be prepared when you go to these recruiting meetings, or these recruiting interviews, or you're meeting with them on the phone, or you're meeting with them on email. I really recommend doing a phone interview, actual phone conversation, or meeting in person if you can. If you cannot do one of those things, then try and do voice messaging on Messenger so that they can actually hear your voice. They know you're sincere. You're just a person like they are. And if you're here doing this, then they could be here doing this too, right? This is totally fun. Anyway, what I was going to say is take a comp plan with you. Take the step-by-step comp plan that's found under the training in your back office. Go to training and resources, and then go to training tab, and then go down to commissions. It's the step-by-step plan through Team Manager. Print that out and take it with you. Also, print out the hostess rewards chart and take it with you. If you're doing it over the phone or you're doing it on Facebook, get their email address and email it to them if you think that they're the personality that might be suited for that. So a D personality would be needing probably the comp plan, and definitely the C personality would probably need the comp plan. They need to know all the rules and how everything works. And even the S, that's statistics, they'd probably want to know how that works as well. And then for the hostess rewards program and the fast starts and all the fun stuff, that would definitely be your I personality. She's going to want to probably see that. So just be prepared when you have this meeting with them. Basically, it's your recruiting packet that we're talking about here. Okay, my question and answer thing is not working on the side, but I'm going to do a question and answer session and unmute everybody in just a minute here once I talk about the other thing that's really exciting and cool that we're doing with JMC. So make sure you write notes because I am moving on to now script updates that we're planning. My children are singing in the other room. I'm sorry if they're very loud. Okay, so script updates. Several leaders on JMC and myself are coming up with 3 new scripts for the JMC girls to work from. So right now we have our 14-day Google Drive script, and that's awesome. It's amazing how we have that all set up, and I believe it's being transferred over back to JMC under the albums so that we can all copy from there again. Kristen went ahead and made that for us, and it is such an awesome resource. I just love it. Okay, so we're condensing that down into a 7-day. We have a 10-day up there as well, I believe, in the files on JMC. But there's a 7-day party that we're going to be putting together, and that 7-day party is basically a condensed version of the 14-day party with a couple of changes. But here's where the big changes are coming. We're putting together a 3-day party and a live online party. So the 3-day party is actually 5 days, but there's like 3 days of partying happening. The first day, it's pre-posts like you would normally do. The second day, it's all about applications. The third day, or I guess it would be the first day, is actually day 0. So the first day is applications. Second day is all about jams. I mean, you're posting nail-biting photos, Jam Juniors, the perks about jams, all about them, tons of photos on hands. And then day 3 would be ordering, incentives, games, really getting people to focus in on that. And then you have day 5, which was actually the after party post. So we'll call that day X. So we've got the post party with hosting and joining information. And you can leave it open longer in your back office, but for Facebook purposes, it's going to be condensed down into those 3 active days. So you got the pre-posts, and then applications, all about jams, and then ordering. With ordering is also like games and incentives, and post-party. It's going to be super exciting. The one really huge change is that we're going to suggest that you limit the amount of guests that your hostess invites to between 30 and 50, and that you actually send them out a sample packet ahead of the party. So that you're sending the sample packet out at least a week ahead of the party so that they have an actual sample sitting in front of them for that day 1 when applications happen. So that every single person who is invited to this party already had to give the hostess their address, and they already know that this sample packet is coming. Then everybody can sit down and put it together, or put it on day 1. This has kind of been a proven fact with Jamboree and other direct sales companies, as if you give the guests something, they feel invested in you, and they're more likely to actually buy from the party. So if you're sending them a packet, a sample packet, ahead of time, by the time that party rolls around, they're not going to forget that you sent them a sample packet. It's sitting right in front of them. They just got it, and then the party happens, boom. Instead of, hey, the party started, does anybody want a sample? Okay, now the sample took a week to get there, and now the party's only got 2 days left, and I don't have time to put the sample on, and now the party's closed, and we're over. So we're kind of eliminating that problem. We want them to feel that we took an interest in them, so we're sending sample packets out ahead of time. All right, then the really exciting one, I think it's super exciting because I love home parties. I find such success with home parties, and I really want to replicate that with Facebook parties. And I was trying to think, how can we do this? So I've kind of taken that 3-day script and put it down into a live online party script. So what we're going to do is we're doing a breakdown of bullet points, and it's about 7 to 11 videos that you will record and put on YouTube, on your own YouTube channel. The online party script is about, the live one, it's about 30 to 90 minutes. So again, you're going to get your addresses from your hostesses of your invited guests, send them a packet. The packet's going to say, like, do not open until this time and day, and then you're going to meet at your computer at that time, and everyone's going to open their sample packet, and Then I'm gonna post my application video. And then we're all going to put that on, and we're all going to post a picture of our nails. And it's very broken down into steps. It's a bit of work up front for you guys or for all of us, because we will have to actually record videos. But it's really good to get you out of your comfort zone and grow. And I just know this is going to work so, so well for home parties. I mean, not home parties, online parties, because it's going to feel like a home party. Again, that's about 7 to 11 videos, and it's really broken down for you. And just stay tuned for more details on that, because a few of us are working on that right now. There's 2 other ways you can do parties that I just want to touch on, because I'm not sure you guys know this. You can do home parties, obviously. Home parties do not have to be stressful. I had a home party last night. 14 guests were invited. 1 showed up on time. So I was like, if you want and you're going to buy some jams, pick them out and we'll just put the whole set on right now. So the hostess picked out 1 and the guest picked out 1. Well, actually, she picked out 10. 10 sheets. And we put them on. And then 3 hours after the party started, another guest showed up. She had just gotten off work, and so she showed up, and she actually bought jams in a True Shine kit. So I had 2 people show up to this party and sold over 255 PRV. You just never know. So had I known ahead of time that 1 person was going to show up, I may have just been like, nope, not worth it. I'm not going to go spend 4 hours of my life at this home party for 1 person. But at 255 PRV is totally worth it. It was awesome. And it was so fun. Oh, and she's considering becoming a consultant, the first gal that showed up, and she's hosting a party for me in January. So you just never know. Home parties, love them. Secondly is catalog parties. Catalog parties are very similar to a home party, but you're not there. So you're going to basically send a catalogs for each guest. I usually say like 10 to 15. Put an order form in the catalog. Put a bundle form thing. You can get them, like choose a bundle. They're on Flickr. I think we have them in our Google Drive. I print that out with a wish list and put it inside the catalog. I put a host join brochure, and then I put my sample packet. So that's got a file, an alcohol wipe, and samples on an application form on how to apply the application order, or not the application order form, the application tear-off sheet. That's what it is. And my business card. And I put that all in there and make a little packet, and then I send it with my hostess, and she hands them out and needs them back by a certain time. Usually it works very, very well for offices. I actually have one coming up where I'm going to the bank where this woman works and handing out the forms and doing a demonstration, or handing out the catalogs, doing a demonstration on myself, because they don't have time to have me show all of them how to do it. So I'm doing a demo on myself, and then I'm coming back the following week and picking up all the order forms. Very easy. A little bit of prep work ahead of time, more than normal maybe, but oh, and I also do like a thank you for attending so-and-so's party. Here's the specials that I have for this party, or the incentives I have for this party. It's usually like order a buy 3, get 1 free. You get a special accent sheet, which is just our sample sheets. But they can't buy those, so they're very exclusive, I guess you could say. And then I do 2 buy 3 get 1 frees, get entered to win a mini heater, and you also get the application, or not the application, accent sheets, and so on. I go up from there. Do a True Shine, get a half sheet or something like that. I can't remember. I do it differently for each person because I kind of feel out the vibe of the group, so I can't help too much there. But okay, that's all I have to say about the parties. Stay tuned. Really exciting things coming up. Don't panic about recording videos because it's very personable. People want to see who you are. They want to get to know you. I'm sure you all love that I'm hiding myself right now from you, but I'm makeupless. My hair looks like, I don't know, it's standing straight up on end, and I don't have a bra on, so you don't want to see me, trust me. Be happy. That's a nice picture of me. Enjoy that. Okay, I want to really, really quickly talk about following up. If you have started in the last month, which 65 of you have started since October 1st, you need to be starting to follow up with your gals who've received their jams already or your past hostesses and make sure that they got everything and make sure that they're having no troubles with applying. This is the time right now to really build lasting relationships with customers and lasting relationships with hostesses so that they come back to you. And I recommend following up every 3 months or so with everybody. I follow up with my level ones in my downline daily for the most part, unless I know that they're got something else going on, and then I don't. And I follow up with my entire downline here and there. And it's the same with my customers. I keep myself a ledger and follow up, and then I keep notes on index cards of what I went over with them. So if they ordered, I'll look them up in my database, and it's like they ordered 6 months ago. I'll make sure that they've seen the new catalog. Would they like a new catalog? Here's our holiday flyers. I'll talk about hosting with them around this holiday time. I'm already having repeat hostesses happening, and I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought people would host about once a year, but if they're hosting way more than that. I've already had a lady host 2, and she's planning on hosting 1 after the first of the year. So you just never know. Follow up with people. Don't always talk about Jamberry. Stalk their Facebook pages a little bit. Make sure you know what's going on in their lives. If they've had a new baby, ask them about their new baby. Whatever. Just develop relationships with them so that you don't come at them as a salesperson. All right. I am going to unmute you guys, I think. Or unmute yourselves if you know how. Oh no! Mute yourself. I can hear you, but I muted them, and now I can't figure out how to unmute them.
It's in settings.
It's in settings. Okay, hang on. I'm unmuting you.
Sorry, Dexter's.
I'm not seeing unmuting in settings. Don't hang up on me. Hang on a second. I'm unmuting you eventually. Oh, Andrea, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I figured out. Oh, no. I can't.
Dexter, sorry.
Crystal and Amber, I can't figure out how to mute either of you. So if you want. Oh, Crystal, can you hear me?
Yeah, I muted myself.
Oh, and Amber,
Yeah,
you're here. Okay. Oh. Crystal, I think you muted yourself again.
Yes, I did, because my kids are being idiots.
Oh. All right, I know how that goes. I'm sure you could hear my kids in the background during that. All right, do you guys have any questions? Silence. Was that helpful?
Very.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to stop this broadcast and go to Jamillionaires Club because it's still recording right now. I'm going to go over to Jamillionaires Club to that link that I put up for this call, and I'll be hanging out there if you guys have any questions that you want to talk about. Otherwise, yay, I'm glad that this went well, and I hope it was helpful, and we'll do more of these because I have a lot to tell you guys. I want to tell everyone at once, and now I can do these, which is helpful. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop broadcast, and I hope it doesn't hang up on you, so let me try this. Hang on.